Yuno Gasai. If you've been in the anime world for even 5 minutes, you've heard the name Yuno Gasai. Pink hair, sweet smile, school uniform, and oh yeah, a body count bigger than some actual villains. On the surface, she looks like your average shy schoolgirl, but the second you get in the way of her obsession with Yuki Amano, boom, it's kitchen knife time. Yuno is the textbook definition of a yandere lovesick, obsessive and willing to kill literally anyone who gets between her and her beloved Yuki. Yuno's future diary literally logs Yuki's every move. What he eats, where he goes, what he says, it's all written down. Forget Find My iPhone. This girl has Find My Boyfriend 24/7 in a murder app. Enemies in the survival game, dead. Innocent bystanders, oops, dead. Yuno kills so casually, it's like breathing for her. At one point, Yuno literally chains Yuka up in her house to protect him. She also keeps the decomposed corpses of her parents in her house, just chilling in her bedroom like it's normal. When things don't work out, Yuno's solution isn't therapy or venting to a friend. It's killing her alternate universe self and trying again with another version of Yuki. That's some Doctor Strange level crazy. She blurs the line between devoted girlfriend and nightmare stalker, making her the poster child for why yandere waifu should come with a hazard warning. Yumeko Jabami. Yumeko Jabami isn't just a gambler. She's a walking addiction dressed in a school uniform. If Lady Luck and a slot machine had a baby, and then raised it on nothing but Red Bull and pure chaos, you get Yumeko. She doesn't just gamble, she devours the very concept of risk. She doesn't play to win money, power, or safety. Nope, she plays for the thrill of standing on the edge of ruin and grinning into the abyss. She finds ecstasy in losing everything. Fun fact, the higher the risk, the wetter she gets. On her first match on Hayakawa Academy, she purposely loses early rounds just to jack up the stakes. Because why play safe when you can gamble your entire future in one shot? Even when she's on the verge of becoming a pet, basically a title given to those enslaved in Hayakawa Academy's hierarchy, she doesn't beg or panic. She instead gets turned on by it. Because humiliation itself is another flavor of risk. And let's not forget how happy she was playing Russian roulette. Her wide-eyed, dilated stare, leaning across the table and taunting her opponent, while her opponent realizes they've been outclassed. At that point, they're not gambling against her, they're gambling against the devil. Seiryuu Ubiquitous. At first, Seiryuu looks like the perfect soldier, loyal, disciplined, and obsessed with upholding justice. She's a member of the Imperial Guard, carries herself like a noble protector, and even has a cute, dog-like companion named Koro by her side. But the second you scratch the surface, oh boy, Seiryuu is less justice and more judge, jury, and psychopath executioner. She has an extremely warped definition of justice that makes her one of the most terrifying characters in Akame ga Kill. To her, anyone who opposes the Empire, even for good reasons, is automatically evil and must be destroyed. No trial, no mercy, no exceptions. Unlike someone like Mommy Esdeath, who's openly cruel, Seiryuu truly believes she's the good guy. That's what makes her so unnerving. Half her body is mechanical, hiding weapons like machine guns and missile launchers. I mean, just look at this. Oh, and her cute dog Koro? Yeah, he's actually a massive bioengineered monster that eats people alive. Her blend of innocence and sadism makes her one of the craziest and most disturbing women in anime. Junko Enoshima. When it comes to anime villains who are completely unhinged, Junko Enoshima is in a league of her own. On paper, she's the glamorous fashionista, the it girl, but underneath the mascara and designer clothes, she's basically the definition of despair. She lives for it, breathes it, and craves it. While most villains want money, power, or revenge, Junko just wants to make everyone suffer as creatively as possible. Junko constantly swaps between different personas, like she's trying on outfits. Cutesy, sadistic, goofy, intellectual, flirty, even a monotone despair machine. Each one is just as unstable as the last. Junko created the entire killing game in Danganronpa, trapping students in a school and forcing them to murder each other just to escape. Why? Because watching friends betray each other is fun. She literally manipulates an entire global apocalypse. Yes, you heard me right. She spreads despair so effectively that the whole world collapses into chaos, riots, and death. That's a pretty solid resume for this list. Junko isn't crazy because she's violent. She's crazy because she's nihilistic. She finds hope boring, happiness dull, and life itself meaningless unless it's drenched in despair. And the scariest part? She's brilliant. Every killing game, every manipulation, every mind game is calculated down to the smallest detail. She also killed her own twin sister, just to make the killing game fun. In true insane fashion, when Junko is finally caught, she doesn't beg, cry, or resist. She gleefully accepts her punishment and stages the most over-the-top execution ever, laughing like it's the grand finale of a fashion show. Esdeath. Now if there's one woman who makes crazy look hot and terrifying at the same time, it's Esdeath from Akame ga Kill. She isn't just a villain. She's a walking war crime mommy wrapped in thigh-high boots. If Elsa from Frozen got possessed by Satan and developed a fetish for genocide, you get Esdeath. She doesn't just fight, she enjoys the slaughter. She freezes entire armies in an instant, not because she needs to, but because watching thousands of soldiers shatter like glass is her idea of entertainment. The strong survive and the weak dies, and she lives by that rule religiously. Oh, let's not forget her romantic side when she falls in love with Tatsumi. And instead of, getting to know each other, she literally kidnaps him and tries to brainwash him into being her perfect boyfriend. Esdeath isn't the ice queen like Elsa. She's the ice executioner. The battlefield is her playground, suffering is her love language and mercy. She probably tortured that poor guy too. Rena Ryuugu. At first glance, Rena Ryuugu looks harmless. Sweet voice, big smile, and an obsession with cute things. She's the kind of girl who sees a stuffed animal in the trash and yells, "I'm gonna take it home." Adorable, right? Well, not for long. Because in Higurashi when they cry, the word cute quickly turns into creepy. Rena has one of the most terrifying flips in anime. She can go from cheerful to knife-wielding maniac in about 3 seconds. Her trademark phrase, "I'm going to take you home," starts sounding less like innocent fun and more like a serial killer's catchphrase. She stalks her own father's girlfriend and straight up kills her with a cleaver, all because she thinks the woman is taking advantage of her father. Wait, that's actually pretty kind of her, looking out for her own father, right? Oh, she tried bombing her school. Yes, you heard me right. Threatened everyone, and as she was about to do it, well, plot armor strikes. Rena's madness works so well because she is living proof that sometimes the scariest monster isn't hiding under your bed. It's the girl smiling right next to you. You never know if she's about to giggle and hug a teddy bear or stab someone 50 times while laughing about it. Ragyo Kiryuin, the worst mom ever. At first glance, Ragyo looks like the glamorous CEO type. Elegant, powerful, dripping in style. She runs the massive REVOCS fashion conglomerate, literally controlling the world through clothes. But don't let the high heels and fabulous hair fool you. Beneath that polished exterior is a monster that is calm, collected, and completely convinced she's on top of the food chain. Her main obsession, life fibers, alien threads that consume humans. Ryuugu's ultimate plan is to merge humanity with these alien fibers, turning the entire planet into a buffet for space clothes. Yes, you heard that right. She's trying to feed Earth to fashion. She's the biological mother of Ryuko and Satsuki, and she treats them like trash. Actually, worse than trash. She experimented on Ryuko as a baby. When baby Ryuko didn't survive the bonding process, Ragyo just threw her away like trash. Imagine tossing your newborn out like a failed science project. With Satsuki, she spent years manipulating and abusing her just to mold her into a tool. This is the part that makes people really uncomfortable. She has heavily outright shown incestuous, predatory behavior toward her own daughter. Yes, she did the raw word that ends with a E. It's one of the most disturbing things in Kill la Kill. She surgically embedded life fibers into her own body, basically becoming part alien. This gave her superhuman powers, near immortality, and the ability to casually walk around with rainbow hair glowing like she's at a cosmic fashion show. Even when she finally loses, she goes out with style. Instead of panicking or begging for her life, she laughs and embraces her defeat. She treats dying in battle against her daughters as if it's just the grand finale of her runway show. Misa Amane. Misa Amane from Death Note is what happens when obsession, blind loyalty, and a gothic wardrobe get blended into one dangerously unstable package. On the surface, Misa looks like your typical idol. Cute, bubbly, and stylish. But underneath that eyeliner is a yandere ticking time bomb, and her fuse is lit the second she meets Light Yagami. Misa isn't just in love with Light, she worships him. To her, he's not a boyfriend, he's practically a god. She doesn't care about morals, justice, or even her own safety. If Light says jump, Misa's already skydiving without a parachute. In fact, she willingly trades half of her lifespan, not once, but twice, just to get the Shinigami eyes. Also, she can be useful to Light. She doesn't hesitate to kill strangers. If it makes Light happy, their deaths are just background noise. And let's not forget her jealousy. Misa is ready to eliminate any woman who gets too close to her beloved Light. Subtle isn't in her vocabulary. She'll literally end the world with a smile just because her love told her to. And no, you can't fix her.